Alert, alert, this is a Doomcock News alert. Alert, alert, this is a Doomcock News alert.
An article by Brittany Vincent, published on MTV News, is speculating that the new Star Wars series created by Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss may be set in the Old Republic. This is, of course, news only to those of you who have been slumbering under a rock for the past 2 years after watching Star Trek Discovery on Ambien and CBD oil, but nevertheless, this article goes ahead and highlights some interesting nuggets of information I thought that were worth a mention. The article says, in terms of the overall Star Wars timeline, the days of the Old Republic took place thousands of years before the Clone Wars, far ahead of the Galactic Republic's establishment. During this era, which took place before the prequel trilogy, various factions of Sith and Jedi took to intergalactic warfare. It's widely considered the medieval period of sorts for the Star Wars universe, and it's an extremely rich well of content that the new films could potentially draw from. The article then goes on to point out that in 2014, Lucasfilm declared all the extended universe Star Wars materials to be non-canon, and expresses, shall we say, a level of skepticism that this material will inform the new series from Weiss and Benioff. However, just because these materials have been declared non-canon doesn't mean that they couldn't be re-canonized by an engaged and desperate Disney who, anticipating the failure of Episode 9 and the violent fan reactions against The Last Jedi, they're trying to go ahead and push the reset button, and what better way to push the reset button than returning to a beloved era of Star Wars lore and backing up 1,000 or so years just to kind of put a little distance between themselves and Ruin Johnson and Jar Jar Abrams. Benioff and Weiss are definitely the guys to pull this off. This project does sound intriguing. At this point, however, I am going to be boycotting this thing because, as I've said many times before, #WithoutRespect, we reject. Disney has insulted us as sexist, racist trolls for years, and it is time to pay the piper. Far beyond the question of the quality of these Star Wars projects lies the question, are we going to reward their contempt for us with our money? Are we going to open our wallets to a company that has called us racists and sexists? Not on my watch. Not until they make some kind of apology, some kind of recompense for these years of abuse to the fans. I do not think this stance is unreasonable. I think it's fair to repay scorn with a closed wallet. Now, it is entirely possible that between now and when this new Star Wars series is released, Disney may go ahead and apologize, may make Lucasfilm apologize. There may be changes at Lucasfilm by the time this project hits. But until that time, one thing is absolutely certain. We must boycott Episode 9. We must. Never forget what Lucasfilm did to Luke Skywalker, to Han Solo, to Leia Organa, and to all the millions and millions of fans whose hearts were broken in the theaters by Ruin Johnson and The Last Jedi. News like this is seductive, but do not be deterred from our course. Without respect, we reject. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.